Guys, so today we're going to talk about morality and the Bible. Now, I found this video of this man talking about Deuteronomy verses 22, verses 28 and 29. He was saying that human morality or atheist morality was better than God's morality due to this verse. One example, he says, of this verse. Now, he was talking about the NIV version of this verse. And let's read it and see what it says. And now, notice that I'm talking about the NIV. And let's go to Deuteronomy verses 22 and 28 and see what it says. It says, if a man happens to meet a virgin who is not placed to be married and rapes her, and they are discovered, he shall pay her father 50 shekels of silver. He must marry the young woman, for he has violated her. He can never divorce her as long as he lives. Now, if you read it like that, yes, it's talking about a rape and it's talking about violation. And the bad part about this verse, and I agree that it's a bad verse, but I'll show you in a minute why it's really not. I'll show you in a minute. It says here that the victim has to marry the aggressor. The aggressor or the violator gets to marry her, gets to just pay 50 shekels to the father. That's all he has to do. And the woman is forever tied to this man as long as he's alive. Now, this sounds really bad, and it is really bad that the woman who is the victim has to put up with the aggressor for a lifetime. Now, the NIV version is the only one that says rape and it says a violation on this verse. That's why it sounds so really bad, and that's why this version is really bad. So now I'm going to read to you the same passage, but this time we're going to go to King James in the same verse, 22 verse 28 on the King James version. And this version in all the versions says the following: if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, the man that laid with her shall give unto the damsel father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. Now, notice here on the King James version, it's not talking about rape and it's not talking about violation. NIV is the only one that says this. Other versions also say doesn't also do not say rape or violation. So if we read in the King James version, the man has to pay 50 shekels and has to marry the woman. Why? It says they are both found in the NIV. It says both discovered, and here it says be found. So when it talks about discovered or being found, that means that they both are hiding something. They are both trying to keep it a secret. Why would the man keep this as a secret? Obviously, he doesn't want to be labeled a rapist. If it's rape, he doesn't want to be stoned. He still want to be put to death. Now, why would he hide it if he agreed to lay with the woman? Well, back in the days, in those days, you would find that if a woman is no longer a virgin and is not married, she shall be put to death because she committed adultery. Now, he would hide it for that reason so she would not get stoned. But then he will hide it for his own reasons so he doesn't have to marry her. And she would hide it so she doesn't want to be stoned. And she would hide it because he doesn't want to be married to him. There's a lot more reasons why they would both hide this, but these are the major reasons. And she is the one that is going to be put to death. Now, let's go back to the NIV version and see why it should not say rape. Now, it also in the NIV version says they should be discovered. It's the same thing. Why would they both be hiding anything? And sticking with the NIV version, let's go to a passage where it actually talks about rape. And this is the same passage on chapter 22, but let's go to verse 25 and 26 and see what it says. It says, but if out in the country a man happens to meet a young woman pledged to be married, he rapes her, only the man has done this shall die. Do nothing to the woman. She has committed no sin deserving death. This case is like that of someone who attacks and murders a neighbor. For the man found the young woman out in the country, and though the betrothed woman screamed, there was no one to rescue her. So notice that there is more explicit things here. The man forced himself into the woman. The woman tried to scream, but she probably couldn't scream, and when she could scream, there was nobody there to save her. So what does God say? If he is discovered, if a woman comes forward and he is discovered that he committed such atrocity, he's the one who should put to death. And what about her? She said, the Bible says, do nothing to her. And not furthermore, do nothing to her. Does not count. God does not count that as a sin. On the second verse, it does not say, do nothing unto her, it will not become sin. Why? Because it was consensual. The second verse, from verse 28, it was consensual, it was mutual, and both of them hit it. So that's why it should not say rape, and it should not say violation, because it already addressed violation on verse 25. But conveniently, people who attack the Bible seem to skip verses to get to the verse that they want to attack and stick to it. But context always matters.